dried up. Means the water, air, fire, weapons, earth, they don't have any effect on you. You are beyond all this. You are beyond all this. Achetdoyam, adajyoyam, ashosha, akledda, ashosha evacha, nitya sarvagata sthanur, achaloyam sanatana. And if this is not what they can do to me, then who am I? You are nitya, you are eternal. You are eternal. Sarvagata, you are omnipresent, you are everywhere. You are present everywhere. You are not only in this body, you are also everywhere in this universe. Sarvagata. Sthanur, you are always, you don't have any vibration at all. You are calm, you are quiet. You don't have any vibration at all. And achaloyam, you don't move because you don't have space to move. You are everywhere. Where will you move? If this universe is infinite, you are that infinity. This universe is you are the substratum of this universe. It is based on you. It's based on you. It's based on me. I and you are the same. We are all the self. We are all that consciousness, supreme consciousness. We are supreme consciousness by nature. Our nature is that we are all supreme consciousness. Okay? Nitya sarvagata sthanur achaloyam sanatana. I am the changeless. We don't change. Anything which changes, that is not true. Anything which has a change, which has mutation, which changes, which changes forms, which changes color, it's not true. But there is one which does not change, and that is the self, and I am that changeless self. So this is what we are. So we were here last two nights before. So now we start from here. Avyaktoyam. Now he is going deeper into self knowledge. Till now he was explaining the self with respect to things which are tangible, which you can contemplate, which you can touch. Means till now he was explaining the self through things which are tangible. Now he is speaking about the truth, which is the truth, which is the absolute, and which is the truth in reality. He says avyaktoyam. Avyakta means unmanifested. I am this self, this person who you are, this person who you are, this person who this is avyakta, is unmanifested. So everywhere I see manifestation. When I open my eyes, I see manifestation. When I close my eyes, I see manifestations in the form of my thoughts. And each and every thought that I see inside, I recognize them as me. I perceive those as me. But it says that avyaktoyam, that is, I am the unmanifested. That means whatever is manifested is not you. Whatever is manifested. So whatever you think about yourself, whatever you contemplate about yourself, that is not you. This is the case. This is the this Ashtavakra Gita is based on this particular concept. Whatever you describe about yourself, like we say Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The self is truth, the self is knowledge, the self is infinity. The Guru Ashtavakra said this is also wrong. The disciple says, hey Guru, you don't know. Yeah, I'm feeling this. Oh, I am feeling so much. Yes, this is knowledge. Yes, this is like. And the Guru says, go beyond that. Go beyond that. Whatever the disciple says, whatever Janaka says, Ashtavakra says, No, no, no. This is not the truth. This is not the truth. You have to go beyond that. Knowledge is ignorance. You know this. Knowledge is not. Who will know? When you talk about knowledge means there is a knower and there is a known. So there is three things. So there is no unity. So it's not knowledge. It's ignorance actually. Understand? So knowledge that you talk about is also not knowledge. It is also ignorance. Avyaktoyam. That reality cannot be manifested. That reality cannot be, expressed. Anything which is expressed is not that. Anything which is manifested is not that. And from this, it comes neti. This Vedanta, our Vedanta, approach, sadhana. The sadhana of Vedanta is neti, na iti. What does it mean? Not this. So, it doesn't talk about this world, because Vedanta actually doesn't care about this external world. It doesn't explain or interpret this external world. It talks about this internal world, which starts from the mind, because that is where the world actually starts. That is where the world, gets projected from the mind. Swami Vivekananda said, what is not inside, that is not outside. So whatever you see outside is not the things which are present outside. Those things are all within yourself, within your inside. And that is what you see. And that is what you see outside. So what is not inside, that is not outside. Okay? So, so Vedanta talks about this mind. So this mind means cluster of thoughts. What is this cluster of thoughts? These cluster of thoughts has an object. Every thought has got an object. And these object, with the association with consciousness, they starts to create some effect within us, and we recognize them as our entity, as our identity. But Vedanta says neti, that is, whatever is present within your mind is not the truth. You may think that you are Shiva, that is also not true. You may think you are, whatever, that is also not true. Whatever comes, whatever is manifested is not true. And that is why it says neti, not this. Try to go beyond that. Beyond what you are experiencing. Beyond what you are observing within your mind. Okay? So anything which is manifested is not the reality. The reality is always unmanifested, and that is what it says here. Avyaktoyam. The reality is always unmanifested. Avyaktoyam. Then achintoyam. Chinta. Chinta means, to think. So here, ayam achinta, that is, that self cannot be contemplated. We talk about contemplation. The self has to be heard about, then it has to be contemplated, and then it has to be meditated, and then you go into samadhi. Isn't it? This is the sadhana. But here it says that self cannot be contemplated. Now, okay, if that self cannot be contemplated, then how can we know the self? How can we approach? It says that self cannot be contemplated. It's true, but when you listen it from a person who has already experienced that self, he does not describe the self, he describes what he felt. He cannot like all these words that we talk about, Brahma, What is Brahman? Brahman is a description of the reality. It's big. Brahman means it's vast. It's vast. It's vast. So it doesn't talk about who is this vast one. It doesn't talk about that. It just talk about its property. It's vast, and that is why it's called Brahma, Brihad. It's big. It's vast. Atman, it's me. But it can only indicate. These are all indicators, but these are not the descriptions. The self cannot be defined. And that is why it's Avyakta. It cannot be defined. Anything which is defined is not the reality. Anything which has been defined. And that is why there is no definition of God. There is no definition of Brahman. Though there are thousands of books present to describe about this indescribable. There are thousands and millions of books which has been written, every decade, every era, to describe what cannot be described. Still, it is indescribable. It cannot be described at all. So, because it cannot be described, that is why it cannot be contemplated. Now, what happens when we listen this from a master? A real master, master also there are like classifications. Every master cannot take you towards this self-knowledge. It has to be a real master who has not only got the experience of the self, but he also has a definite depth of knowledge. His depth of knowledge is such that he can pull one disciple from this darkness to light, from this ignorance to knowledge. He can pull it. He can pull that person, because he doesn't not only has this experience of the reality, but he also possesses some kind of energy, a special kind of energy called Guru Shakti, which is imparted to him through his Guru. He cannot attain it on his own. So Guru cannot be, you cannot be a Guru. Gurus are made. They are made, they are appointed by the divine. If you want to become a Guru, you can become a disciple. You can become a disciple, you can become an aspirant, but you cannot become a Guru. If you want to become a Guru, your Guru has to appoint you. If you want to become a real one having the capacity to pull a person from darkness to reality. Okay, so Avyaktoyam. So when he talks about this, when this kind of Guru, they talks about their realization, how they have felt, that creates a definite impact within our mind. Their realization, their feelings, their experience, they are so real, and they have this huge energy that they penetrate within our mind, they penetrate within our hearts, and they create an impact. What is the impact? They clean all the residues of impurities that we have. They clean all the impurities and the residues of impurities, everything, and they leave us with this pure blissful consciousness. These words are so powerful that they enter into our system, this body, through our ears. It enters into this body, penetrates the mind, then it penetrates the heart, and after it goes into the heart, it forms a cluster there, and it washes away. It flushes out all the impurities. What are the impurities? All these conceptions, ideas. This world is like this because my idea about this world is like this. It is not everybody's world. It is my world. So everybody's world is different because everybody's idea is different. So, we are not watching the world. We are watching our idea about this world. The way I want to see the world, I see the world. It's not only about this world, it's also about God also, In the Bhagavad Gita at one place, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapaddanti tangs tathaiva bhajamyaham. He says that, whoever wants to see me in whatever form, I show him, I appear before him in that form, in that desired form. If you want to see the reality like Lord Krishna, the reality will come, appear before you like Lord Krishna. If you want to see the reality like, Shiva, Lord Shiva, so the reality will come to you, will appear before you like Lord Shiva. And if you want to see the reality like the reality, there's one song, Lal na rangao mein to Hari na rangao. When they're playing Holi with Krishna. Okay, they're playing Holi with Krishna, and one gopi says, okay, you give me color. Rang de chunaria, you give me color in my body, you give me color in my clothes, in my mind, in my heart. You put colors. But what color? Lal na rangao mein to Hari na rangao. I don't want red or green. I don't want red or green. Apane hi rang mein rang de chunaria. You give me that color which is your color, which is your original color, which is your color, which nobody has seen. I don't. People go after red, green, yellow. No, I don't want these colors. You give me that color. That is your color. Color me in your color. Color me in the way you are. In the color you are. I want that color. Lal na rangao mein to Hari na rangao. Apne hi rang mein rang de chunariya. So we have ideas, and we, whatever world we see, or spirituality, whatever we see, these are all our own ideas. Ultimately you will see, your meditation, your sadhana, your this, your that, your good, your bad, everything is your own idea. It's all your own creation. It has nothing to do with reality. Reality is exactly, is always beyond everything. Whatever you deal with is all your ideas. And that is why, the guru, the real guru, he infuses his energy within you and flushes out all these ideas. And you see that you are liberated, you are free. You are free from your own creation. What is freedom? What is liberation? It's not the liberation from the world. It's not the liberation from ignorance. It is the liberation from our own creation. This is called liberation, mukti, moksha. Moksha doesn't mean that you become liberated from ignorance. Where is ignorance? Everything is knowledge. Avinashi tu tadvidhi, that we will read. Avinashi tu tadvidhi, yena sarvamidam tadam. Whatever you see is all indestructible. It's all it's all God, all reality. Whatever you see, it's all infinite. It's all consciousness. So if it is consciousness, then why I don't see consciousness? Because of my own ideas, preoccupations. What is liberation? Liberation from our own ideas. That's all. Nobody is nobody has imposed any kind of bondage within us. Nobody has imposed bondage within us. It is we have ourselves imposed bondage. Understand? It's we who have ourselves imposed bondage. And mukti, moksha, liberation means you just get rid of your own bondages. Just get rid of your own bondages. And then you see, oh, I'm so glad that I could do that. Once Swami Vivekananda, before he's realizing the self, he prayed to Thakur, please do something so that I can forget everything I know. Why did he say this? He's a wise man, he's a scholar, he's a great devotee, great disciple. Why does he want everything to forget? Because he understands that these things which I have kept in my mind, as I know this, I know that, these are my real obstacles. My idea about my knowledge is my obstacle. It is my obstacle, it is my bondage. I don't have any other bondage. My bondage is my idea that I know. And what is liberation? When I come to this point where I can say, I do not know. I do not know. And I do not want to know also. I am what I am. I do not know and I do not want to know. This is liberation. This is liberation. Okay? So, avyaktoyam, achintoyam. It cannot be contemplated. The self cannot be thought about. You cannot have an idea about that self. It cannot be contemplated. Then avikaryoyam. Vikar means which changes form. So anything which changes form. Now see, what are those which changes form? Everything present in this world changes form. Starting from rock. The rocks also, they have their life. They also change. The rocks become earth, soil, and again from soil they become rock, and then again they become soil. They go through this process. It's amazing.